let's watch Dax in the scrim here. A good way to start things. I didn't know the chicken would... This is actually a great way to celebrate. So this is a scrim for NGS. A silver 2 Tychus. Teaching us how to truly celebrate. And we're here on Infernal Shrines.
10 seconds left.
So let's do some usual stuff. We start when we're thinking about things. We got some objective clear. Okay, so they have Sonya. Stukov's going to help with that. Kael'thas kind of sucks in the pit, even though he can do Phoenix. It's really disappointing. You get your butt beat by skeletons in the pit. Or monkeys, or whatever you want to call them on Infernal Shrines. But Raynor will be pretty good at it, and he's done his Exterminator talent. May's going to do a lot of forward zoning. Sonya's likely to go with them, but we can totally bust them. Because we have both the Leoric and the Tychus here, so this sort of dive team of May and Sonya should be punished, and then we can front to back it, along with Jaina and Brightwing helping us out there, move through the front line, kill them, advance onto the back line, and then hopefully force them out of the objective, which they'll be pretty good at. Likewise, we'll be okay with an Leoric, but he's also in charge of a bit of the soaking. We have a Brightwing, and who knows what build our ETC is going to go, but I assume we'll have a classic kind of mosh pit business. So let's see your level 1. You got quarterback. Cool. Quarterback's great. We're going to lock into your view while we watch here so that we can see what you're seeing while you see it. There's very little, if you are kind of Tychus curious, there's very little reason to do these two. I mean, this might be really good into like a Lucio team where you think you're going to have to move out of an area pretty fast or get knocked back into the enemy team. Not so useful against things like ETC unless you're really watching out because he'll already be on top of you with that stun. But it can help out a lot. And then range is really good if you just think you have the most CC in the world and all you got to do is stay connected. And maybe you have something like a Tracer or Genji who will always get those kills that leap away. Or limp away, I should say. But quarterback is just that back line like, hooah, that's going to complete the kill. And looks like you guys are already rotating like champs. And good on you for taking the safety pathing here. Which isn't as necessary with a Mei tank, but it could still go wrong, so good on you for it. You're already doing one thing that actually took me a while to learn, which is use Overkill for lane clear. And we mount up. This is NGS scrim, so we mount up, and we rotate, and we mount up, and we rotate. And we start thinking about, yep, the very cute taco. Making sure they're dismounting people. Cool. Getting those angles. The one thing we can be critical about with Overkill is making sure that you select a new target when your initial target is gone so that you're actually doing the bonus damage to the thing that matters. Because you do more damage to your primary target that you select the Q on, and then the cone deals less damage to everybody in that area. A little bit of business happening in the bottom, but we can assume here that, of course, this was part of the plan. They were hanging out, maybe grabbing an orb for Jaina. And then moving on, looks like we might also have some orbage happening in other locations like our ETC. Perfect. Little lane clear polymorph there. Nice zoning out. Scaring her off, working on that Mei. She will blind you, but, you know, that's what Overkill's for, because it's spell damage. So in the meantime, you can absolutely do that. Most Meis and most silver players aren't going to actually watch your minigun shimmer to see if you activate it or not, if they're going to blind you. So you can usually lead with a little fake engage first, wait for the blind to fade, and then do your proper engage with your minigun on the other side. Oh, so I'm actually seeing this build more and more right now. It's actually kind of scary, the Sonya thing here. 4th Seismic Slam deals bonus damage and increase the length, which can absolutely get you. And you guys will be decently punched. That could be a little scary. We might have to watch out for it. Otherwise, we got some reactive Ballistospores. Vigorous reuptake. I don't think that really changes if you would target Stukov first, if he was available. Because that heal would still only be hitting the front line, so kill whoever's available for sure. Nice camps. Overall, nice camps. Leoric's having to play that pseudo lame game of versing Sonya where you basically have to hit all your hands or you're going to lose. But she also has to hit all her spears or she's going to lose. So, you know, no matter what happens, it's a little boring for everybody. Now, she did use her snowball or slush ball. That's all well and good. What'd you grab? Okay, so you got in the rhythm, which is perfectly fine, and I love for fighting Sonyas. Brightwing trying to pre-cleanse off, which can't happen. Here comes Leoric. It's not a bad idea of Brightwing to try to clear those lanes since you guys are ahead. It would restrict their movements. Okay. Seeing some misses on the grenades and... But we're currently not auto-attacking. There we go. So now we've auto-attacked. So the minigun we can see by the portrait is ticking now. So minigun activates, and then when you start attacking, no matter what it is, it'll start that duration and lose duration as it goes. Nice switch into it. That was really well done. Tychus does actually have pretty darn good siege damage when he can actually lock on. Sonya versus Leoric going on forever. NGS-wise, since you guys are coordinated, someone should be soaking mid at this point because that XP is being spent. You guys do have an XP lead anyway, but there is some XP getting out of there. Particularly as those range units are going to end up connecting. They'll start killing the back. Yeah, just turn around on that. Might as well get some dings before you go. If that was going to kill you, it was going to happen. And you could use the dings. When it comes into the rhythm, you do need to be a little safer because people expect it, but you can be a little Zul'jin-y. Little... Oh, there was a pause, I guess, happened. That we don't know about because we're in a replay. Zul'jins with their Headhunter quest like to just play absolutely insane and then make up for it in the late game. It's not really worth doing on Tychus, and at the very least, people aren't used to it. That's all pretty good. Okay, yeah, mostly just grenades that aren't reliably gonna hit. A little bit of a box in. Though you did pick up that armor at 7. And since you're all coordinated here with a Jaina on top and a Leoric, I don't think you needed Melting Point. Because you're not going to have to take up anything. Melting Point's great in Storm League, but not necessary here. And Relentless Soldier will save you in the moments that actually matter. The only problem about Relentless Soldier is that Odin has 25 armor constantly, and talents still work during Odin. So you only get bonus 5 armor. That's just a personal bummer. Because I want it to be better than it is. Has nothing to do with actually the talent being bad. I just wish it would equal 55 armor. That'd be awesome. Cool. Great. So she's trying to use her slush ball to actually... So my guess would be that Cherrywood here, the ETC, was saying something along the lines of, I'm going to go for it, I'm going to go for it. So you're like, cool, I want to go for it too. But you did have a lot of cooldowns when you popped in Odin. And I do like when Tychus players use all those cooldowns. At the very least, just throw things out early, even end your Q. Put out a minigun as best to your ability. And just be loud and then switch in. Plus, you're unstoppable for that little moment. So I'd really like to see you use your Odin to dodge a blizzard, to dodge a Chromie rewind is an amazing way to use it. Of course, there's a Stukov over there who would silence you, so maybe you wanted to pop it because the ETC made the call, and that's what you're saying, right? So ETC made the call, and you're like, okay, I want to be ranged, greater range than I currently have. I'm going to Odin now, and that's fine. Odin's actually really good at sieging too, so the second you see a wall out in front of you, not a bad idea to get up on that. But in the confusion there, and it was like an entombed ETC into... Oh, hello. Okay, awesome. Those are all dings. Our dings are real low at the moment, but we actually haven't been interacting with Sonya either, who's probably our primary source of dingerinos here in this game. And you guys are playing just fine. I mean, hey, if there's nothing to kill, like, you don't need in the rhythm stacks, but... mainly that would be that and the grenades. Hey, that's not bad. You know, on top of the things perfectly, but, you know, it doesn't seem like we're going to be under any threats anytime soon. So there are some odd, for anyone wondering, polymorph upon expiration deals damage to nearby heroes equal to 2% of their max health. So it appears our Brightwing here is trying to use that splash damage on the objective minions, but it only works on heroes. So that actually isn't going to function. But that's probably why we're hearing those little polymorphs ding. This is okay. We're getting forced out a little bit. They're coming in. They're all nice and healthy. Might as well. I'm okay with this. Though this angle is kind of taking us around a little weird. And then we got inside the polybomb there, or the pyroblast. So the main thing I wanted to see happen here... let's go ahead and zoom out. I wanted to see you fight with your splashes still hitting the objective because you guys are so neck and neck. They were pushing through, ignoring the objective for a little bit. And your, what's the name? The stuff. I don't think I've actually ever read the name. The line of explosions and the mini missiles all do AoE effects. So I would like to see you take advantage of that by splashing into the pit with those abilities while still pressuring. And this big long walk cost you a lot of time. You had sight over the walls and you could have fired over those walls, much like Deathwings do. So I think there was a real opportunity to be more aggressive during that, even though it felt like you got zoned out. And maybe that was the fault that you popped Odin before and right as the meaty character showed up. So you were popping Odin to maybe finish the objective, but then Sonya and May suddenly showed up. Now you're Odin and actually weaker in the situation than you would have been versus being normal Tychus. So you end up having no pressure for the Sonya and the May because of your choice to pop Odin there, which is fascinating. Now there is a slight DPS advantage to not using Q and just standing still, but nothing wrong with trying to kite it while it's actively chasing you. Tychus is like the perfect range to get completely owned by these lasers every single time. Yeah. That's just a little inexperience that happens to Tychus. He is just the perfect range to get absolutely owned by any of those medium length things. Let's take a look at what you got here. We've all been there. We've all been there. Cool. Neo Steel coating is going to give you some reductions into Kael'thas. And you did receive a pyroblast there, or at least the side of a pyroblast. So yeah, I think that's okay. You basically said to yourself, how am I going to die in this game? I'm going to get stunned, or I'm going to get hit by a bunch of bursts really, really fast before Brightwing can respond to it. Now you got to use the button. But the button does work during Odin. And since you're favoring Odin at the start of engages, hopefully that means we can have a nice healthy Odin. And at that point, I'd like to see it be a little more frontliney, only because Brightwing Jaina won't be. And Leoric's handling all the macro for you guys. Yeah. Oh, no. Those are dings. Those are all possible dings. That was discount dings. I wanted to see you just wail on Sonya a little bit. Now, of course, we don't know where people are, but, you know, you found a surprise Sonya. I just wanted to see you just go, blah, 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 and then you still had your dash and all to run away and friends in range. ETC's doing a good job kind of keeping track of the enemy, though now they seem to be exploring towards the top. They do have better map control than us at the moment because of the 2 forts to 1. So you're looping around. It's safety. It's safety. I'm a little nervous about that bush above you. I'd love for ETC to take a look in there. Okay. Here they are. Leoric's clearing top. They're pretty aggressive knowing Leoric's there and has a 5 instead of a 4. That's fine. This camp's fine. The objective's going to be top anyway, so it's not like this camp is going to be perfectly timed. No matter what you do. Oh, they're looking. Oh, I'd love to see ETC just get something wild in. Maybe even position a little more aggressively with Leoric there. He could have handled the back. All right, this looks like it might be our first actual 100% together fight from the get-go. That's fine. You saw a lane. It was already gone, but you activated your Q. We won't really need it by the time you have it back. They're doing their camp, which is a little better, and without Melting Point, we're not going to be able to clear that out as fast. Okay, let's... Ooh, okay. So the ding happened. So no matter what, there is absolutely a numbers advantage for your team for a brief couple of seconds. And since we're at so few stacks of In the Rhythm right now, which is going to be our primary Sonya killing device, I wanted to see you just switch on, run and gun right towards Mei, who already used her slide cooldown there with very little effect. Yeah, she's getting a ball ready. She's already shown how she uses this, though. Every time Mei has cast Avalanche so far, it has been back towards her team. So we can infer on that. Shift yourself onto the top or the bottom of Mei or back to your own side. And then just wail on her face for however long it lasts. But I want you out of some stacks because there will become a situation where you are the primary Sonya killing device. Like right now. Don't be scared. Kill Sonya. Don't be Odin either. Kill Sonya, because now you're actually weaker into Sonya. Pop your... turn on your armor. Don't forget that. Nice. Nice. Good job. It is called Annihilate and Ragnarok Missiles. Huh. I wonder if that's a Mech Warrior reference. I only really ever played the one on Xbox, plain Xbox, but it was a really good game. Good co-op, as I remember it. There's also a feature I really liked where you could sort of get out as a little man and run around and get inside a different robot. It wasn't very useful, but it was kind of cool. Gave a sense of scale to that Xbox original 3D landscape. So here's kind of the superiority of their camp take, but also the team fight they had. Well, the Orc's really good at entombing his buddy, but luckily that did get a Stukov on the other side, so no harm done. Yes, yes, whale. Oh, Rainer really likes you. I wonder if you've played with the quarterback range enough. Because you kind of throw grenades at the range without the talent. So some people become over-reliant on quarterback and just can only take quarterback from then on. Maybe you could take more advantage of dash to be more aggressive and work on quarterback in the background. You used to take dash? Okay, then that makes perfect sense. That's fate. It's a stun. 30 armor for it. And don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You know, keep auto attacking. It does a little bit more damage than your Q. Nothing bad's gonna happen to you when there's no enemies around. Those freezy boys aren't that big of a deal, and we can get rid of things a little bit faster when it comes to Punishers by just standing still and taking some hits while Brightwing heals. Tychus can feel super duper squishy though if you first start out on him. Oh my goodness. The way he plays feels very tanky, but it is not the case. I always dislike it that the Q kind of ends early if there's no local enemies nearby. It's always kind of a shame. Not like, you know, it just needs to fire out into space, but, you know, don't end. Suppressing fire and all that. There might be enemies nearby who I would want to hit. Particularly slow if I had those talents. You have grabbed up sizzling attacks, which is great. But now we're even kind of more in that, like, let's stay Tychus for the right moments sort of situation, because we are going to have so much power into this front-to-back team we've built. And it seems like Jaina... I actually have been watching Jaina too close. I'm going to look at her a little bit here. Now, here we're kind of stuck in Q limbo. Oh, don't be scared. Oh, no, just see that through. Just see that through. Odin would be really good for pursuit because of the increased range. There we go. Yeah, I like that stuff. There we go. You know where he's gonna... Yeah, that was a good... what's it called? That was a good annihilate. That was a good annihilate. Yeah. Really got to trust that D. Really rely on it. Let it ride. Oh, that'd be nice, Pickle. Yeah, just throw out a Q. Because Q, if all the lanes are covered, like, Q isn't the most valuable thing in the world unless you're blinded. Or having to currently maneuver to hopefully find a place where you can then stand still. Nice, you've selected the back one for your primary damage. That was taking the most. I feel you there. Yeah, if we could spend a Q to just do whatever. It'd be kind of fun. We'd lose the primary damage if it worked like defense matrix on Diva. Because it would just do generic damage across the board. Yeah, just spinning around. Hey, you know, we've all done that. We've all played Quick Match Li Ming with Disintegrate, and there's a stealthy nearby, so you give it a couple of clockwise turns. So we see the two primary damage. There's Sonya. Cool. I just want to see you drop your feet, stand still, let the minigun ride. Because we've got good eyes on everyone but Mei at the moment. Okay, now's a good time to get a little scared. The grenade was not useful there. That's a pretty important bit of finishing power we might need. That was really good by them. That was really solid. Leoric's kind of draining the heck out of things. Why was he unstoppable if he ended up exactly where he was going? Oh, he's trying to finish it out. Good idea, Leoric. ETC's trying to make some noise. Good stun, though. And they're going to kill ETC. Oh, I don't think there's much you could have done about that. Yeah, he kind of enjoyed a nice unstoppable without going anywhere. But he was attached with a Drain Hope at the time, so maybe he was just hoping to see it through. Kind of an interesting situation here. But he has Spectral Leech, he's got Mithril Mace, so we are very much based on killing that front line. That was a really good play by them, though. They know, if they're thinking about it, they know that you guys have this front-to-back team where Leoric and Tychus are going to kill the first thing and then go onto the squishies. So using the Avalanche then into the Sonya Leap was a really, really good idea. And now you guys are locked out. They got a clear bottom. You got to camp down the middle, which is nice. And I think you're in the right place right now, too. Clearing out top and seeing if maybe we can push that out just to give us some time to play on the map. Because otherwise those periodic catapults are going to keep lane clearing and keep pushing in. So you've got an ETC behind you. Leoric's in the area. Rainer's build is pretty typical over there. Everything looks pretty normal. Sonya did go with the crater rather than the armor, which is worth noting, because you can technically do all of your in the rhythm stuff through the armor, at least the percent base damage of it. And that'd be really a good counter. But instead, she's just going for them deletes. Yeah, it's the right time to hide. They've executed their combo once. Now it's time to be nervous. Nice and safe. Yeah, there you go. Leor can hang out though. He got spooky ghost powers. Just late game nerves at the moment. There's May. Oh, okay. Leoric found him. He does not have increased ghost duration. So he's going to take quite a bit of damage getting out of there. Oh, Brightwing's going in. That's kind of scary. Is that dead Brightwing? Oh, that was good. That was a good unstoppable into the dash. Nice job there. That was essential. And now this is fine because you've already used your Odin for the primary part we wanted. We're stuck in double music limbo at the moment here on Infernal Shrines, but that happens in replays. So you've gone with the level 20 augment to get yourself increased duration, which is the main part of it. The nukes are really fun and cool, and they do deal a lot of damage, but the duration is what we're really after here. And we haven't been in a situation where we've actually been able to siege for a long period of time. Oh, just stand still. You got it. You got it. Press your button. Press your button. Hey, nice. Nice. That was awesome. That was excellent. Very well played. Oh yeah, don't worry about that dog. Target. Yeah, there you go. You got it. So given what's happened in this game, with the lack of siege being used during the Odin, I think that Bob and Weave, a personal favorite of mine, but Bob and Weave would have really done you some cool work here because you keep having to disengage during both the start of your fight and re-engage with the Odin after you've disengaged. And Bob and Weave's extra charges would allow you to do just that. Plus, it seems like you're a really good dash player, so maybe don't be afraid of that. I think that Odin is the... Here we go. Actually, now this is the Odin we want. This is the kind of stuff. Drop that. Yeah, drop it. Yeah. Perfect. I might not be the best at globes. It's true. Yeah, now this is where the Odin really shines. A lot of walking, but keep those stutter steps rolling. Keep those stutter steps rolling. Nice. That's going to be a pretty big hit. That's just a little inexperience there, too. I really want to see you just hit that grenade right on top of them, past them, so it'll knock them back into you, continuing your minigun or your overkill, whatever it is that you might be running at the time. But that is a project for another day, for sure. Cool. This is really good for us. Yes! Yes! Nice job, you're a bomb. Well done. So there you were a hot second behind of, optimized, like, oh my goodness reaction, but that was fine. Oh, you've got another one ready to go. Kill that, Sonya. Kill her dead. Nice. Nice. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Infinite living bombs, yeah. And just stand still here. There's nothing that ice can do to you. I don't actually know if Odin is more deeps. I guess it would be with the nuke. I'm not actually sure which would be more effective for just standing and burning right now. Odin is cooler. Odin is cooler than some human being. Yes, it's true. I'll agree with that. Well done. Cool. And splash damage, a couple more deaths, so that's a really solid place to be. There were some living bombs spread around, but we are tucking NGS silver, so yep, living bombs, that's fine. Oh, silence Brightwing. So yeah, I think there were some cool opportunities. Is this coaching why do people only send in wins? I actually encourage it, big guns, because when you lose, you're less receptive to, I mean, I don't strictly take wins, but when you lose, there's a lot of thoughts about what other people did wrong, and what you could have done better kind of falls by the wayside. So when you win, but you feel you underperformed, that's the real point. If you do send me a loss, though, I want to see a loss where you feel like you can do the best, you did the best you possibly could have. That was absolutely like God tier for you, and everyone else was the problem, because then we can actually critique your God tier. But there's also a point where like things fall apart and you start being zoned out and you got to play different. So both have very different connotations as to what we're going to be talking about.